Hey everyone, this is Matt Johnson with Viral Marketing. I'm excited for the latest installment of the Generosity Generation Hangout with Michael Mayer, and this is going to be a barn burner. So I get the impression that Michael is a little bit excited about today's Hangout. I could be wrong. I don't know. You tell me.
I'm excited. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'll tell you what, they need to close the doors and hold on to the mic and hold on to their computer because it's coming at them today.
Yeah.
They better be ready. Today's about energy, and quite honestly, it's about genergy. Generosity, energy. Generosity will give you energy. Today's about genergy, and I cannot wait to deliver this message, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Keep talking, Matt. Keep making it happen, brother. Bring it.
All right. If anybody has questions, this is your opportunity to get them in. There's a Q&A app right here on the Google Plus page, and then if you can't get your questions in that way, just post them up as comments on the Google Plus page right below the video that you're watching. I'm going to be keeping an eye out so we can bring the questions to Michael and the special guest, which I'm going to let Michael introduce, and then we're going to get into it and get ready for takeoff.
So honored. It's truly a privilege to be able to introduce today's guest. I'm so excited. I mean, excited. I literally had to do 50 push-ups, 50 crunches, and do 50 squats before getting on this show today. This guy inspires me so much to get my stuff together. He is here. He is, I'll tell you what, he's a top producing agent, but so much more. He's a great dad. He's a great husband. He's an all-around great guy, and he is here to help you generate energy deep down inside of you. There is a light. For some of you, it may be just a candlelight, just barely burning. It may be an ember. For others of you, this light it's burning. It's glowing. But today, what's going to happen is it is going to shine. It is going to get a dose of gasoline because today we have with us Mr. Joshua Smith out of Scottsdale, Arizona, top producing real estate agent, but truly just a great business person in general. I cannot wait to see what he delivers today. I honestly cannot wait for this conversation. So Joshua, welcome to the Generosity Generation and welcome to our Hangout.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for having me, dude. Absolutely stoked and honored to be here, and it's always a pleasure rolling with you, man. I love learning, love growing, loving talking with you, dude. So honored to be here, man.
Well, I'll tell you, that's what's beautiful about you, man, is that you aren't just a top producing real estate agent, right? We have that on. We have top producing agents. It goes great. We talk specifically about business. But some of these guys are 300 pounds, super overweight. I mean, I've been there, right? But I have to tell you, you got all phases going, and honestly, that's what people need to focus on is, listen, don't let the business run you. You run the business, and more importantly, you run your life. You run your life. You own the mornings, you own your day. You own your day, you own your life. And Joshua, you are the greatest example of that, buddy. And this is a message that needs to be delivered this first Friday of April, this Good Friday of April. Is people need to hear this, and this is when they can start getting outside, getting their exercise in, getting their health right. So right off the bat, I mean, I have this number in my head. It's 118. 118. What does that number? What does that number mean to you?
Yeah. Really it signifies weight loss, right? More than that, I'm getting ready to actually publish. Well, I was going to say publish a book. I'm starting the writings of it right now, called my 118-pound weight loss journey. So the journey was a hell of a lot more than just weight loss. It was just a self-discovery journey. That's really transformed my whole entire life. It's crazy about the story, what a lot of people don't know, is I didn't start there. Right? Like I was in pretty decent shape as a kid. My father was in the gym business for 30 years, owned and operated gyms, did that for 30 years. So I grew up in that business. I was a wrestler, then I got into bodybuilding and did even like the teenage Mr. Michigan bodybuilding show, all of that. So I started pretty damn good health, dude, right? Like I was taking good care of myself, and then like a lot of people, I think almost everybody, I've really never met anybody that hasn't had some form of depression in their life at some point. And the severity of it differs between person to person. For me, but for me, it got pretty severe. I went to college, ended up dropping out of college, went for almost 2 years, changed my major like 13 times. Like, all right, dude, my ADD's way too intense for this stuff. So I dropped out. But then through all of that, a lot of things happened in my life, and just being honest, like, it's easy to sit there and point the finger and blame all this stuff, but I allowed myself to adopt a victim mindset is what it really boils down to. And I got to the point more where, like, I just didn't give a shit. Like, I didn't care, dude. So I didn't care about my health. I didn't care, really about living. And the weight started pounding on. I kind of used food as a comfort. When I was training really hard before I slipped into this state of depression, when I was training really hard, you have an appetite. When you hit the gym for 2-3 hours, whatever it may be, I didn't really hit the gym for 2 hours, but let's say I go in there for an hour, it creates this immense, massive appetite. That appetite didn't go away, but instead of eating, 2 plain chicken breasts and steamed broccoli, now I'm eating 2 double Whoppers, with cheese from Burger King. Sort of just, I guess, what do we want to call it? Comfort food, helping with the pain with food. Adopted a very, very bad, very heavy drinking alcohol habit. And almost every single day I was freaking drunk off my ass by noon, And
Joshua, let me stop you right there, right? You were a mess, dude. How many of the people that are on this Google Hangout, how many of the audience out there that are hanging out with us, how many of you have had bouts of depression, right? How many of you have taken comfort in food, right? How many of you learned, this is a learned behavior, is learn to celebrate with food. Right? What did you do for birthdays? What did you do when you got all A's, or you got, for some, all C's, whatever? And where'd you go to celebrate? We go to celebrate at restaurants. We go to celebrate with food. So celebration, comfort, food seems to be an integral part of all of that, and sugar, of course, as well. And alcohol. And I know there's some that are hanging out with us today that are going to find this extremely inspirational and hopefully life-changing, is finding comfort or finding a way to escape through alcohol, right? So you were having an accumulation of these effects, yes?
Yeah, all of the above, man. So and it gradually happened over about a year span. I weight started packing on, and of course that just made me more depressed. A lot of people sit there and say, so much of depression is chemical imbalances. Well, yeah, when you're putting a bunch of freaking poison into your damn body, it throws off your chemical balance of your natural state. So a lot of depression is correlated with what we're putting into our bodies. Most of the nutrition out there, like, for example, McDonald's French fries, 15 of the ingredients aren't even actual food, right? So I'm feeding my stuff in my face with all this, drinking a tremendous amount of alcohol, dude. It was whatever you want to call it, but it was ugly, right? So to the point where I was every single day contemplating heavily taking my own life.
Wow.
And then I remember one night, I picked out like the tree. Like, I had a 89 Berlinetta Camaro, and I picked out like the tree that I was.
So life wasn't all that bad. Right.
Yeah, right.
You had an 89
yeah. So again, but I was just looking for artificial stimulants in my life, whether it was my fast car or drugs or alcohol or food or anything and everything, to have that artificial stimulation of good feelings, right?
Yeah.
So
and you found a tree, the Joshua tree, right?
Yeah, there it is, dude.
To quote YouTube.
Yeah.
So you had you seriously had a tree.
Yeah, I picked it out, and I'm like, all right, dude, this is it. Like, I'm just sick of this life. I'm sick of this world. Like, okay, I'm just done. Like, it just didn't offer me anything but pain at that point in my life, or at least that was my mindset. And the cool thing is, and I know that the last half of this Google Hangout, we're going to transform this into business, but it's all the same stuff. And I operate 3 other businesses in addition to my real estate business. I'm not even active in my real estate business. Really, I'm just an entrepreneur. But the same stuff that makes me successful in my health, in my marriage, in my relationship with my kids, in my businesses, it's all the same exact model and all the same exact stuff. So I allowed this mindset, this victim mindset, and I allowed my perception of the world to just be pain. And I truly thought it would just be easier to end it. So I was at that point. I was like, okay, I'm sick of freaking thinking about it. Let's just go do it, right? So And then
be a man, kill yourself, right? It's like step up for the first time in your life.
So as I'm, got this tree picked out, ready to rock and roll, dude. I don't know if it was just God or an internal voice, whatever you want to call it, but I just had this like really strong internal voice just saying, hey, dude, like, look, that tree's not going anywhere. You can come back to this tree, but let's just try a different path. This path isn't working. Let's try a different path. And at that point, dude, things really started to turn around. I had an experience at that point. It happened with this new job that I obtained. So I started working at a hospital. And I was a nurse's aide at this hospital on the hospice floor. I was really afloat, so I'd work on a lot of the floors, but I was on the hospice floor a lot because they had a lot of need there. So I'm working 12-hour shifts through this time and having these hardcore, in-depth conversations with patients. And this is those of you that don't know what hospice is. I mean, that's kind of our last place before we leave this world. I mean, that's like people just on their deathbeds waiting for their expiration date to come. And of going through that experience, talking with hundreds, if not thousands of patients, and it somewhat clicked at that point in my life, but I didn't really start taking it really serious till years later, till I started having children and leveling up to the next level. But it's something that through that experience I've always remembered. And having those in-depth, hardcore conversations with all these people, again, last days, sometimes hours of their life. And I remember still, so vividly to this day of these deep conversations, and not one of them, the one thing that truly sticks with me is not one of them was like, Josh, dude, life was amazing, life was epic, like I lived it to the fullest, like I'm so stoked, ready for the next journey, whatever that may be. Every single one of them that I had conversations with had this long shoulda, woulda, coulda list. We wish I would have done this, and you could just see it in their eyes, dude. Like they were on their expiration date now is too far or too long, down the path for them to go back and do anything about it and turn their lives around. And you could just see it. It's like, okay, like they woke up and they had this realization that I just pissed away this one gift called life that God blessed me with, and now there's no time for me to go back and do anything about it. And I still today just remember the pain in so many of their eyes that I could see. And at that point, with also that depression and everything else that was going on in my world, it just all kind of came together at the same time. God working somehow in my life to just give me the right messages, I guess, delivered at the right time. And that's what I love about pain. Like, so many people hate failure, they hate pain, but it's like, dude, God delivers pain in our lives for a reason, you guys. Like, he's going to kick the living shit out of you. I promise, this universe will. Yeah. But it's these painful moments like this that truly define us. And so then I chose to turn that path around. And also,
real quick, hold it. Right before you talk about the inflection point. So you were really on a downward spiral of life, right, brother? I mean, your chemical imbalance was causing. You basically had picked out a tree, the Joshua tree, that would be the end of Joshua, and instead you said, all right, that tree's going to be there. I can come back to that, but I'm going to give it some time. And at this time, you were working as a nurse's aide in a hospice. Have you ever read The 5 Regrets of the Dying?
I'm not, no.
Everybody here should go check that out. There's 5 main regrets of the dying, and you were hitting on them. I mean, these were people that were at the end of the line, and they honestly were asking themselves, what did you do with this one and only life? And they felt remorseful. They felt regretful. And you decided that's not how you wanted to be. You didn't want that end. To be remorseful and regretful. I say in 7L, don't wait for a life-changing event to change your life. You can literally change it. Just like you went into the victim mentality, and the victim mentality did not happen overnight. It happened gradually over time. And then you start looking for indications of being a victim instead of a victor. And so my next question is this inflection point, right? We have these ups and downs in our lives, and there's an inflection point is where the shape of the curve changes, right? Inflection point makes it go down. Inflection point makes it go up. So was there an inflection point or a series of points that put you on the right path?
Well, I would say I kind of had to hit that low. And I, just like you, Michael, I mean, I do everything I possibly can to surround myself with, absolutely uber successful people that just do some amazing, epic things on this planet. I've yet to meet anybody, any one of them, that hasn't had a very hardcore low. Right? So I think that just must happen in our life, whether it's maybe your childhood, before you experience at some point in your life. It's like, okay, I had the health, then I lost it and went into a deep state of depression. I had to get it back. I've had times in my life where real estate careers boom and did all this, then made a lot of stupid decisions, lost it all, had to experience that pain, went back to being broke again, and then had to recreate it. So it's all the same thing: financial, weight, relationships. My marriage was the same thing, dude. I've really went through this path with every aspect of my life. One of my coaching businesses, I coach a lot of elite entrepreneurs from every industry across the country. Very few realtors that actually coach. Just a lot of other elite entrepreneurs, because it's this cycle that we all go through. Whether at some point, if we're not intentional on it, if we don't have clarity on what we want, we're not living it intentionally. You're going to have those highs and those lows in every aspect of your life. Like, for example, when my real estate career started booming and taking off, dude. At that point, my health was pretty decent. My income was going through the roof. I'm banking like 800 G's a year, all of this stuff, dude. But my relationship was shittier than it ever been. Like, I was failing as a husband. I wasn't leveling up. Our marriage sucked. Right? So then I had to recognize that. So I've really went through this. It's the same path I've went through with every aspect of my life. But again, if you haven't had those extreme lows, it's very difficult to have those extreme highs, because you kind of got to know what you don't want as much as what you want. And so I mean, really what started the path was the night I made that decision and found that tree. And that was the path I started. That was the inflection point. I started searching for another path. Like, that was the point. Like, let's just say maybe there's an agent right now that's on this call that maybe not even speaking health related, but maybe in their business, like they've hit that rock bottom point where they're like, okay, dude, I'm sick of being broke. I'm sick of struggling and freaking out, not being able to sleep at night, and sick of my bank account. Now, not just being zero, but maybe it's negative, and it's easy to happen in this world, right? But it's kind of that, there's that point where we're like, okay, we make this internal commitment to ourselves. We draw this hard line in the sand. We make that internal commitment to ourselves. Like, dude, I will never tolerate this personally in my life again, and get intense with that. So, so I mean, that was kind of that bottom low that made the shift in the mindset of, okay, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna freaking turn this around, because obviously I'm on this path, on this road, it's not working. I need to take a different path. I didn't know exactly what that path was gonna be, but I went and searching for it, right? Like search and you shall find, right? So I went searching for it, and life has just led me through those paths. So step number one, I had to understand that I wanted that change. I think why most people can't or don't become successful in any aspect of their life, whether it's their weight loss or their health, because you got to remember, before I got in real estate, after I went through this, and also growing up in the health club industry, I was a personal trainer, dude. I mean, this is, especially after I lost the weight, then it was, I got even that much more hardcore into it, because I'm like, okay, I want to go out there and have this amazing impact in others' lives. So whether it's health related or business related, whatever it may be, you're never going to have success unless you have absolute clarity on exactly what you want in life. And I think that hospice experience helped me with that, because it got me thinking, and again, a different mindset. Like right now, as we're on this call right now today, I'm 33 years old, right? So if I live to the average age of the average American of 84 years old, that means I have 612 months left on planet Earth, and only 612 months. Right? So I mean, look how fast these freaking months just fly off the calendar, dude. People live their lives so lackadaisical. I mean, they spend more time designing their grocery list than they do their life plan. Yeah. And then all these years and months skate by, and they're like, oh, well, no wonder. No wonder you freaking die of a heavy-hearted regret, because you weren't paying attention. So first off, you've got to be aware that I guess time is brief. You don't have a lot of time.
Hey, here's the deal. That's 204 waking months, because you sleep a third of the time, right? So you really have 204 waking months. I mean, I'm sorry, that's not true. It's 408. I just doubled your lifespan. 408 months that you are awake to make it big, right? To do the next step. You're right. Look at you rubbing your neck. That's a nonverbal for pain in the neck. I just brought up a pain in the neck for you. I'm sorry about that. But isn't it true? I mean, we all have that pain in the neck. Is that, holy smokes, we got a lot to accomplish, and we have very little time in the perspective of life, right? Not to be depressing, but
no, I think it's an awesome point, dude. Like, you guys got to start thinking hardcore about death, because I mean, here's the thing: it's the one sure thing. Like, dude, I'm a Christian, right? Like, I believe in Jesus Christ, and not to make this the show by any means about that.
I think it's appropriate.
But however, dude, I mean that's based on faith. Like I don't really have proof. I haven't like hung out with the dude, right? I'm not like going out hanging out with him, having conversations with him.
Yeah.
It's through this thing here called faith, right? So that I believe in it. But the one sure thing. So maybe people don't have belief in that, but the one sure thing that we can all agree on, that we all know, is we all are going to leave this planet, right? And we are all going to have this internal conversation with ourselves at some point of, okay, shit, dude, now it's time for me to reflect back and how did I do? Like I'm now like, here's the ultimate scoreboard on my deathbed. How did I do? Did I go after my dreams, visions, and goals? Did I go after them? Or was I a spectator on the field? A spectator, didn't get on the field, didn't chase him, and now I'm going to die with this heavy-hearted regret because then I realized I pissed away this one gift called life, and it's too late for me to go back and change it. So we've got to understand, what I'm always looking at is, okay, let's say at 612 months, before you jacked up my whole calculation.
612, baby.
Yeah, in that 612 months, I'm always asking myself, okay, what must happen between now and then? Like, what must happen in the next 612 months for me when I have that internal conversation to myself, and it's not one that you can fake with other people. You can tell other people that you're happy, whatever. But it's this internal conversation that you're going to have with yourself. And it's like, what must happen between now and then for me to answer 100% with full certainty in my life and in my heart that, dude, life was epic. I crushed it. I dominated. Maybe I didn't hit and accomplish my dreams, goals, and visions, but I went after them. I wasn't a spectator. I got in the field. I played ball, and I operated at my full potential. I gave it my all. Like, for me, that's what I'm absolutely obsessed and passionate about. One, in my own life, making sure that and this is something I think about every single day. Dude, am I leveling up? Am I there? Am I hitting it? And then also sharing that with as many people as I possibly can through this message and like what we're doing today to get people to wake up. It's like people will go through 10 years of their life and nothing changes. Their happiness doesn't change. Their weight doesn't change. Their bank accounts never change. Like, why is that, dude? It's because they're trying to just get through the day, never get from it. They're not paying attention. They're just trying to looking for these little escapes. And again,
let me hit that real quick. That is a huge point, and I probably blew a bunch of eardrums with the clap. But here's the thing. Sorry, man. but it's one of those where you hit a huge point. Is that it's that taking ownership of your life. I mean, so many people are like, yeah, but I got my kids' game, or yeah, but my wife doesn't fix healthy food. Or, you know what, my wife and my kid want to go to McDonald's or whatever. But here's the thing. They're not shoving food down your mouth. They're not, you take that was the big inflection point for me, was when I took 100% responsibility for what went in my mouth. And truly, I mean, I was filling up. I have a really, really nice car, right? I have a phenomenal car. And I'm filling it up with premium unleaded, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this car is going to last me 5 to 10 years at the most. And I baby it, I wash it, I take care of it, and I put premium unleaded only in my car. And then I started thinking about, holy cow, this vehicle has got to last me 612 more months. I didn't actually say that number, but we'll use that. But for me, maybe 845 right now. I'm just kidding. But, I mean, it's got to last me 40, 50, 60 more years. And it's time I start just putting premium unleaded in this, because I want this puppy to last me for the entire time. And people, I mean, they do. They're like, and their why are their kids, or their why is their family. And you know what? That's all BS, in my opinion. I mean, what is your why? Your why is going to be bigger than your family. Your why is bigger than your kids. It is. Pour into them. I'm not saying that you don't, but pour. Fly. We talked about the fly, right? How do you really fly? Level up in this life is first love yourself. That's fly.
Yeah, dude. So let's kind of hit that, right? So, okay.
Before we get into that, hang on, Josh, can you move your microphone closer to yourself again?
Well, I'm on my earbuds. Are you guys not hearing me?
No, I think your microphone off to your right-hand side, when you flex, I think you actually pushed your microphone away, and we're picking up less of your.
Well, that could have happened. I mean, have you seen this guy's arms?
I know.
Yeah,
exactly. Talking with his hands.
Like part of the earth moved slightly when he did that. So
Yeah, exactly.
I can see it happening.
Whatever.
Before we get into all the business,
Hey, Josh, we told you no guns allowed on the show, right?
There it is.
It's all good. They're concealed.
Yeah. So all right, dude. Let me kind of go into this because obviously it's something I'm very passionate about, right? So I look at this and I could sit there and say, well, I've got kids, so I'm not going to take care of my health. Well, number one, I'm going to take care of my health and serve myself, like you said. I mean, you cannot serve others unless you serve yourself first, right? Mm-hmm. It's the only way to do it. Number two, for me, I want what do I want for my kids? I want my kids to chase their dreams and their passions. So they're not going to go chase them if I'm just like, oh, guys, go do this. Dude, they're going to do what they see me doing. So if they see dad and mom going after their dreams and visions, dude. And here's the other thing: a lot of people don't want their kids to see them fail. Dude, I want my kids to see me fail and fall like right flat on my damn face, dude.
Yeah.
Because
watch you get up.
Because then, like, oh, dude, I saw my dad fail. My dad kept getting up. He kept going after this. Like, I want to see them get, this, like, watch me in person getting the shit kicked out of me by this universe and still succeeding. That's right. That is the environment that I want to lead my family by. So number one, I'm going to lead by example. Number two, I'm going to lead my family. And I've got 3 little kids. It's hard, I mean, they're all my 3 kids are of martial arts or whatnot, and it's 3 days a week. I mean, it's late, going. So there's a lot of planning, a lot of preparation. However, just think about like would you go let your kids smoke cigarettes?
Mm-mm.
Would you let your kid take a shot of whiskey right now?
Mm-mm.
Right. But we're allowing all of our kids to put all these chemicals in their body that are not food. Like you think Subway is healthy, right? The number one ingredient in the bread in Subway is what they make yoga mats out of. It's not even food. Our bodies can't even break it down and ingest
That's
it.
awesome.
Right?
We had Subway today. Thank you for that.
So a lot of people though just don't have the awareness. But it's like, why the hell wouldn't I go gain the awareness? I didn't have it at one point either, but I got passionate of, okay, I need to go out there and do the research and study this stuff and really take care of my body. And, dude, it's not just I think you've got to get clarity on what you want, have that clarity on what must happen, but then also –
that's number one, right? You said life. This is basically life is not a spectator sport. It is a participatory sport. It is a contact sport. You no longer playing the spectator. You need to get in the game 100%, and that's you want change. You want clarity. You said that was step one. How many steps are there in what you're talking about? And what's step number two?
Yeah, so the model that I follow for everything's 3 steps. So it's pretty simple, right? So number one is what is the exact outcome I want? So I'm analyzing, and it's always changing, you guys. It's always changing. When I was 25, my outcome for my body was I wanted my body to aesthetically look a certain way.
Right.
I wanted the big arms, the big chest, the 6-pack abs. Now that I'm 33, not saying that I don't. I mean, I still want to be in decent shape. So when it's a swimsuit season, I'm still pleased with my body. However, for me today, it's different. The outcome I want is energy management. Right. I operate multiple businesses. I work 16 hours a day. I want to be able to deliver massive energy to that, as well as come home, have an amazing time with my kids for 2-3 hours, not be some deadbeat dad chilling on the couch, then put them to bed, then spend another hour or 2 quality time with my wife and not neglect that relationship. Right. Then when they all go to bed, dude, that's my my time for self-development, right? So then I'm going to drive into another, stay up till freaking 1 in the morning, feed my brain food, mental food on a higher level.
So then that's step 2? Is that step 2? So one is clarity, right? Know what you want. What's step 2?
Yeah, okay, so that's step 1, right? So getting that outcome, and it's always going to change. Then step 2 is really identifying the problems and obstacles in your way.
Mm.
Like success is not an addition, success is an elimination. So what's the outcome that I want? What are the things that are prohibiting me from getting that? So like if when people come to me like, oh, Josh, I want to be more successful in my business. I'm always like, okay, dude, what's prohibiting you from doing that? Like, let's start there. Let's not add anything. Right. We just need to go through elimination, whether it's negative people, whether it's a substance. Like I knew for me to level up in my life and take it to the next level, I had to 100% eliminate alcohol. I mean, I had a hardcore alcoholism spout for about 12 years, dude. But because I got so serious about leveling up and had the clarity I wanted, that no longer became a struggle. And it was all through clarity and a shit ton of meditation and some other stuff. But it was that, dude.
Like in the second half, I want to know about some specific steps took to kind of pull yourself out of that.
That's right.
Before we do that, Josh, how do people kind of connect with you? And we'll kind of wrap up this first half on that part of the journey before we get into some business stuff. I want to give people the chance to connect with you. So.
And I love it. We've given step 1, step 2. We'll give step 3 in the next episode.
Exactly.
But first, Joshua, how do they get a hold of you? And you know, what's a call to action for my group? They take action. I have a bunch of action people that are on this Hangout. What's next?
Yeah, so if you guys go to joshuasmithgsd.com, so www.joshuasmithgsd.com, right on the front page there's a subscribe button. Just subscribe, enter your first name, your email. We're always delivering amazing content like this. You know, we have our own podcast, our own TV show, interviewing not just top entrepreneurs but fitness health experts, so that we're able to get those. All my contact information is there as well, so you can communicate with me directly from there as well too.
Nice. Hey, Joshua, before we wrap up this energy and health segment, I've got a challenge for you.
What's up?
You ready for this?
Yep.
Are you ready? Level 10, brother. All right. Matt's going to be the timer. We're going to do how many push-ups we can in 30 seconds.
Whatever, dude.
Are you up for that or not?
I mean, are you playing or are you being real? I don't give a shit. I'll do it right now, yeah.
All right, man. All right, I'm going to slide this around. And Matt's like freaking out. He's the host. He didn't know this was coming.
Like trying to figure out if I have a watch.
All right, hold a second. I got to move around here a little bit.
All right.
Who knows how this is going to go? You can gather questions right now, Matt, while they're trying to figure out how the heck we're going to do this.
That's right. If anybody has questions, write through the Q&A app on Google Plus, or just post them as a comment on this Google Plus page.
Oh, sure. I picked the hardest, the room with the hardest floor.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go off mic for a second, so you can't hear me breathing hard and everything.
All right, so these are going to be clean push-ups right there, Michael, all the way chest, all the way to the floor, all the way up, walk out.
Yep, we can see you, Michael.
Can you see me?
Yep, we can see you.
All right. We have no idea how to stop. You're gonna have to start waving or something when it's time to stop, all right?
Sure.
Are you ready? Look at Smithy dressed for it. That's crazy. Dude, I'm wearing jeans and a shirt. All right, here we go. All right. How are we going to do this? I'm going to take you off this.
All right.
All right, here we go.
All right, can you hear me, Michael?
Can you ready?
Yep, so get down there and I'll give you a 5-second countdown. All right.
You got to say no.
All right, hang on. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Ten seconds.
Woo!
I think Josh may have won that one. What were we up to, man?
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody get hurt? All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I bet you can't. Woo!
All right.
Sweating. Oh, that was good.
Did you break a sweat at all, Josh? Was that? You look like they were just cranking them out pretty easily.
I have to tell you, I think I ripped my shirt. Have you seen the Hulk? That's awesome. Oh, geez. It's good to be in shape, guys. I think that's the thing to just relay the message. It's great to be able to do that. I mean, I have to tell the listeners, and I know this is going to be a 35-minute segment. I don't care because it's so important. On December 1st of last year, I could not do 5 push-ups. I did 5, and then I did the rest on my knees. And what are we, 4 months later? I'm down 40 pounds. I can do 50 push-ups in 30 seconds. I can do 100 push-ups in a minute. And my energy's through the roof. I'm a better husband, better business owner. I'm networking with better people. And life is good, right? Energy is good. It starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with first love yourself. Love on yourself. And 2 examples. Tony Robbins coached with a guy that was the biggest financial planner of the 80s and 90s. He predicted the crashes, both of them. He was having trouble after the 2009 crash. He felt a loss of confidence. What happened is he met Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, first thing he did, he got this guy in the best shape of his life. Very first, right off the bat. Best shape of his life, got his confidence back. #1 financial planner on Wall Street today. Second example, Sir Richard Branson, most productive man on earth. They said, if you were going to give advice to the listeners of this, and you had to just give them one piece of advice to be more productive in their lives, what would you say? Sir Richard Branson, without hesitation, says 2 words: work out. Work out. Get into shape. Get your body going. That's where the energy's coming from. You have to realize the energy's not coming from monster drinks. It's not coming from sugar. It's not coming from the outside. You want energy in your life? It's coming from the inside out. First, love yourself, and then you can love others, and that's what we'll talk about in the next segment. See you in a second.
All right, so let's kick off this. So let's kick off the second.
That's the first podcast I've ever been challenged to a push-up contest, bro. I love it.
Hey, who won? Who won in the first? Who won last segment?
I gotta give it to Josh. He was like on that pace.
All right.
For about the first 20 seconds. It was pretty good. It was
push-up for days, baby.
All that means is we got to have another podcast in the future, brother, because I ain't going to let it go down with me going down. I'm the host of the freaking show.
That's it.
All right, Josh, so let's get into it. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about productivity, but let's start with just how did you pull yourself out of the spiral? We talked about the inflection points in the last one, so let's get into just what were the practical steps that you took to get back in shape, and then how did that lead into getting back, being successful in real estate all the way up to where you're at today?
Yeah, awesome, dude, awesome. So and again, I know we got kind of cut off in the first segment there of and actually call it the GSD model, but it's three simple steps. You have clarity in the outcome that you want, identify the problems and obstacles, and then what are the must-do action steps to take right now to eliminate those problems and obstacles to make the outcome a reality, right? So that's something that isn't, I don't like, people get freaked out, or I shouldn't say freaked out, but sometimes surprised when they find out that I don't set yearly business plans or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm not like, oh, dude, I'm doing this every single day. I spend 20 minutes every day and 1 hour on every single Sunday reflecting and analyzing every aspect of my life. And again, always, because there's different times in your life where things change. My desires for certain outcomes are different now with three young kids than they were before I had kids. Age changes. Like right now, my outcome that I want with my health is more energy related than it is aesthetic related. So my outcome with my wife right now is different than it was when I was in my 20s. When I was in my 20s, it was more just having a lot of fun, if you know what I mean. That's what resulted in 3 kids. Where now it's just kind of more deep connections, you know what I mean? So it's a different level of, the outcomes are always changing. Then it's identifying those problems and obstacles. So it really boils down to, because there's not just one thing, dude, it's daily freaking work. It's not like one decision and all of a sudden I sign up for the gym, I'm going to be in shape. No, it's daily work in the gym, daily, nutrition, working at it every single day. The only way you're ever going to have success, if you want to win the year, right? The only way to do that is to win enough months. To win enough months, you got to win enough weeks. To win enough weeks, you got to have to win enough days. So I never think about the week. I never think about the month. I never think about the year. I'm just focused on today. And I ask myself, okay, what must happen today to make today an epic win? And then So I put all that down, and then on my daily reflection, I do this. So every single day I have a planning session and my reflection session, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. every single day, no matter what, is my reflection session. It goes for 20 minutes, and it's okay. I'm looking at everything. So everything's on my schedule. Everything I do is written down, and I'm asking myself, did this align with the outcome I want, yes or no? And if it's a no, dude, it's just eliminated. Here's what I love about it. A life of clarity is so simplistic. A life of unclarity is when your life's chaotic. So if you're like, dude, I feel like I'm always rushed and I'm bouncing off all these walls, it's because you don't have clarity and you haven't set your priorities.
Right.
It's that simple. I mean, that's it. So I'm always, hey, is this aligned with my priority in life in this segment of my life? And I always set one priority for each. And if it's a no, dude, it's out of my world. It's like lead follower, get out of my way because I'm going to level you.
I talk all the time about daily goals, right? Setting your daily goals. And I have to tell you, the thing that I love about how you're aligning this is you're really clear on your goals in general, right? I mean, it's like focus on today. Some people can't focus on today because they don't know what they want down the road, right? I'm not a huge believer in the business plan. I'm not a huge believer in setting yearly goals because what do, right? They set these yearly goals in November, December, and then what do they do with them? They put them in the drawer, and then next October they look at them, and they look at them, they're like, oh crud, I didn't get that because some super trainer said, what are your goals? I want to sell 100 homes, and then they said, what's the trainer say, right? What's the idiot trainer say? The trainer says, oh, you gotta think bigger, you gotta double it, and guess what? So then this person writes down 200. Well, first of all, how does that person feel about the 100? They don't feel very good about it. And number two, how do they feel about the 200? They're totally defeated before it even started. So they write down 200. They put it in their drawer. The next year, they go from 85 transactions to 115. But they pull out the goals, and it says, I was supposed to do 200. So they feel miserable about themselves and onward and upward, right? And it's one of those where, you know what, set a weekly goal, set a daily goal. What are you going to do today that aligns with where you want to go, right? And what I love about that is you're talking about getting clear on where you want to go, and then does your daily habit, does your daily do fit with where you want to go, right?
Yeah, and like you said, man, I mean, so many people don't succeed because they have limiting beliefs put in their mindset by some freaking douchebag trainer like you just described, right? That I mean, here it is. Like, who the hell am I to tell you what your goal should be for your life? Like, who the hell am I to tell you, hey, this is what a win should be defined in your life? Success, the way I define success, I know society tries to define it. Worst thing that you can do is pay attention to society. Like, you don't want to be normal. You don't want to fit in. 74% of Americans are overweight, 40% obese. Almost 76% of Americans right now are living paycheck to paycheck, meaning if they lose their job, they're relying on government aid. Like, quit trying to fit in. Be you, be different. Listen to yourself. Because it's only going to be you having that internal conversation with you. So define what that is, and then every single day, okay, what must happen today to make this a win? So when I'm doing my planning, dude, everything from my business to time with my kids to my workouts to my meals, everything's planned out. So it's like, okay, this is what must happen today to win freaking life. I'm not here just playing the damn real estate game. I'm here to win freaking life. So that's what I'm planning. You've got to think about that. But here's what I think is really important is why it's so critical to get that clarity. I know everybody talks about your why, but get that clarity, not necessarily on your why, but like what must happen, for you to consider this to be a win. Because here's the thing, self-discipline is BS. It's freaking delusion. So none of us we all have limited self-discipline. A lot of people will come to me like, oh, Josh, I can't lose the weight because I'm just not disciplined like you. I lack the willpower. Like, dude, we all have limited willpower. I don't have any more self-discipline than anybody else. What I do, though, is I get clarity on what I want, and then I just analyze, okay, like, what sucks more? Does not eating, like, for me, I was addicted to Taco Bell, dude. Like, I was asked one time when I was younger, if I was on death row, what would my last meal be? And it was 2 double-decker pizzas with guacamole, nacho grande with guacamole, Mexican pizza, and a large Mountain Dew. I wouldn't go a ferry without eating Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So then it was, okay, what pain sucks more, dude? Is the instant pain of not feeding my body this Taco Bell that I want, or does does that suck more than being obese and being depressed and not getting what I wanted?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm human. Like I'm not just I'm drinking filtered water out of a BPA-free water bottle, right? Like this is what I drink all day long. Does it suck? Hell yes, it sucks. Like dude, I want the other good stuff, right? But it's what do I want more? And I get clarity on that. What do I want and why the hell do I want it? Because I'm going to experience pains, dude. You're always going to have those pains. It's just what sucks more, dude. Does being depressed, does being unhappy with yourself, does whatever suck more than this instant pain that you're going to go through by making a different decision. And a lot of people sit there and think, okay, success is like, what was that defining moment in your life? I'm like, dude, there was no freaking defining moment. It was these tiny little choices every single day that I made. It was me getting up every single day. I've already eaten 3 meals today. It's me deciding every one of those 3 meals. It's me deciding drinking this, compared to whatever.
Pop, soda. I mean, soda's the #1 drink out there, and you're so right. I mean, I think the biggest thing that people have is this aspect of mediocrity is we isolate incidents, right? We think that what we decide to do right now has no bearing on anything that happens in the future, and that's the farthest from the truth. Is when you say yes to one thing, in the now. When you say yes to one thing, you are saying no to everything else forever. I mean, that's the way we have to look at our decisions is listen, when I'm saying yes to this right now, I'm saying yes to this time on this Google Hangout because it's recorded, because it's with you, because Matt's helping us make this get out to more people, right? And we have to realize that when we say yes to one thing, we're saying no to everything else. I'm saying no to my kid. I'm saying no to my wife. I'm saying no to all of these different things. And the thing is you have to prioritize and be able to. Okay, I'm saying no right now to my son and to my wife because here's what I know. I know date nights tonight with my wife. I know tomorrow is family day with my family, and I know Sunday is SON day with me and my son. So I can say no to that right now because I have a yes already planned, right?
Yeah,
it's prioritization.
Yeah, and I think too, dude, like that's what's so critical to get clarity on the outcome that you want, because if you don't have clarity, then you don't know what to say yes and no to. Mm-hmm. Like I know exactly what to say yes and no to, dude, and I say no right now, you guys, kind of about 25 times a day. Like I get asked almost on a daily basis to go speak locally, nationally, wherever, and it's just no, because it's not aligning with this. If you don't have that clarity, it's not going to be there. And let's switch this kind of into business just for a moment. So I talk about those pains. Like some people say, oh, Josh, like you can just pick up the phone and get rejected by 100 strangers and they're telling you to piss off and F off and like it just doesn't affect you. No, dude, it affects me just like it all does you. Like nobody enjoys that. Rejection sucks for everybody. But I look at there's 2 pains, right? I'm either gonna experience this pain of rejection I'm gonna go through right now, or I'm going to have to experience a pain of being freaking broke, not providing opportunities for my kids, not being able to send my kids to college. Like, I don't want to ever have a conversation with my kids of, oh, sorry, daddy can't support you and help you pay for your college because that's too much of a freaking coward to go work my ass off at work and be rejected by some stranger that really doesn't give a shit about our family anyway. I refuse to have those conversations. So I will get rejected by thousands of homeboys that don't care about me and my family. So then I can never experience the pain of failing my family as a man and as a father. As a man and a father, my #1 obligation is to provide opportunities for my family, period. So I'm kind of in that old school mindset. Like I'm gonna leave the cave every single day, kill shit, and bring it back home to the ones that I love. Of course, things that are ethical and whatever. But the other pains exist, dude. They suck. They exist. Last night I was up to 1:30 in the morning. I delivered a new webinar, had some stuff, and was taking a bunch of orders. I was up to freaking 1:30 in the morning finishing the tasks that I wanted. Even though I had to be up this morning at 4 a.m. It sucked. It was pain. But I know what I want. I'm willing to go through those pains so then I can accomplish what I truly want. So you got to get that clarity. Then you got to understand, like, ditch this whole freaking mindset that you're not strong or you're not self-disciplined. Like, nobody is. You're going to have the pains. Yeah. You just got to pick which pain. And that's the dope thing about life is we all have the choice, dude. We all have the conscious choice to choose which pain we want to experience.
Yeah, talk about this is something that we hit when we were talking before that I want to make sure that it gets out on this segment. Can you talk a little bit about getting into momentum and then keeping that momentum in your life so that you keep making those positive choices and you have to rely less and less on discipline?
Yeah, dude. So Well, there's parts of your life that that you always still. I don't know if you ever have it where you're fully disciplined. Like I've had a lot of bad habits. One of my other bad habits was I chewed tobacco for like 10 years, right? I still go through every day of my life, even though I quit like 4 or 5 years ago. I still go through every day of my life freaking craving. I just want a big fat dip, dude, in my damn mouth, right? I want to go spit like this big damn water bottle.
You're like, a Copenhagen, I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, dude. So I grew up around my dad's. Whatever. It was just one of those things. I started chewing when I was 12 years old, right? So so that's something, dude, that I still crave every single day. It still hasn't got easier from the day that I quit. So especially now that I'm jamming behind my computer so much more, I crave it so much more because those are those fun moments to have them, right? But yeah, I mean, so I've found, this is why a lot of the stuff that I do with my teammates and other businesses that I run, I do 90-day challenges. Because this whole 21 days to make or break a habit, I found to be totally bullshit in my life. Like, it's not enough time to do anything. 90 days has seemed to be enough time to really instill those good habits, wherever. So yeah, I mean, there will be a point with a lot of things where you do it enough, go through that pain, where then it just becomes habitual and part of your routine, and then it's not so bad. Right. But I'm not gonna lie, dude. I still have days, like, I'm freaking human. I still have days when my alarm goes off, even though I've been waking up at 4 a.m. for years now. I still have days when my alarm goes off, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I don't want that thing to go. Like, I don't want to get up. Like, what do I want to do? I want to freaking stay in bed for 3 more hours. And then I have to have those internal conversations of, okay, I can either sit my head on this pillow and freaking dream, or get my ass out of bed and go deliver my dreams into a reality. Like, those are my two choices. So then I'm experiencing the pain. I just choose which one that was going to suck more, and I go after that. There's days where, like, dude, I'm so freaking drained mentally, physically. Like, I don't want to go to the gym. There's days like, dude, all I want to do is go freaking, crush 2 bottles of chips and salsa and just veg. So I don't want anybody to ever think that there's like this magical number where that pain's going to go away. Yeah, there's certain things where it does get easier. Don't get me wrong. But you may always have the pain. There's parts of my life where I always have it. We're all human, dude. You just gotta. That's what's so critical, and that's why I do it daily. Who's gonna have more success? The homeboy or homegirl that reviews their goals once a year where they set them, or me that's reviewing them twice a day, every single day, and then mid-afternoon when I get that brain fog, I re-pull them out, I review them, and then maybe I'll go do 10 burpees or 10 squat jumps, blood flowing again.
50 push-ups in 30 seconds.
Who's gonna freaking succeed more? With that, I'm gonna bet. I always bet on me, but I'm gonna bet me because I'm keeping it front of mind awareness. And things just work out. And you get clarity in what you want. It's like the universe just kind of creates that path. It's pretty.
Well, cool. And I have to tell you. So do you think it's 10% luck, 20% skill, 15%? Wait. Do you think this is applicable?
Write down his stats.
Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100%.
What do you think?
No, dude, I don't think that's correct at all. I think it's like more like, I don't know, 80% mindset. Yeah. 19% hustle. Yeah. And maybe 1% luck. I just don't believe in luck. Like, you just create your own damn luck. Like, the path doesn't exist. You just go out there and get it. So probably 0 luck, dude. It's you control here. You control the world, dude.
That's right.
But it's making that choice. Like, so many people. And we have a saying in all my organizations, but all of that says no mental masturbation allowed. Right? So what do most people do, right? They go in there, I'm going to write out all these business plans, and they end up mentally masturbating and playing with all these thoughts, but they never do anything with it. It's like, you got to get out there. Execution is the heartbeat of success, right? Like, I don't care whether if it's your health, it's okay. You got to execute on the diet. You got to execute on the gym. You got to execute on those tasks. If it's my relationship, you're executing on your date night, right? So, you've got. Don't get me wrong, you've got to plan. There's so much in the planning, but I spend maybe 30 minutes a day in my planning and reflection, and then I spend 16 hours in execution, right?
That's right. So God favors action, brother, right? I mean, people do want to sit and pray quite a bit, and the truth is God favors action, and that is the truth, right? And the other part of that too is I mean, we've got literally like 7 minutes left. I'm going to ask a question about how you went from 16 agents to 42 agents, and just what your mindset, and then what tweaked, and then what did you do? What did it seem like? You maybe threw an ad out there, or maybe you changed your value proposition from a team standpoint to go from 16 to 42 agents in just a matter of 3 months. And then the other thing is I want to take a couple questions, Matt, from the Google Hangout people. If there's a couple of out there that and unfortunately we don't have a ton of time, but I want to make sure if there's a couple of specific questions that make a lot of sense, let's make that happen too.
Yeah, we have a couple of comments, no questions so far. So guys, type them in, and we'll bring them to the guys at the very end.
Perfect. So Joshua, you got really clear on what your business was all about, right? Before it's typical business, and you were doing transactions, and it was about serving the client, and then you had an epiphany or made a change in a mindset. Tell us how you went from 16 to 42 or wherever you're at now on agents.
Yeah, so as of Halloween of 2014, we got 14 agents, and today right now we're 42-ish. We've got a lot in training right now. We're hiring about 3 new agents every single week, and I'm not a brokerage. I'm not a broker. I have a team. And again, it really was just kind of what we're talking about, to getting the clarity on what I really wanted. I was at a point where I was pretty comfortable in my real estate business, and I was focused on growing my other businesses. And I had to go through some other journeys in life to realize what I truly wanted. And until I experienced those other journeys, I didn't know. So then on, I don't want to say on Halloween, but about a month prior, I got clarity on exactly what I wanted. What's the outcome that I want? What are the problems and obstacles that are in the way? And what are the must-do action steps starting now that I must do to eliminate the problems and obstacles to make that reality? So I made some big shifts, switched companies, made a lot of things that so I could eliminate those problems and obstacles to start growing to the point where we wanted to grow, and really just got intentional with it, dude. A lot of our ads, what we've always been running, it wasn't like we were doing anything different. Just got hardcore intentional about it, and choosing to level up, taking it to the next level. So, I did. I've got a full-time recruiter now, and some other things that we've done differently. But it was just making that choice of, okay, what do I want? Where do I want to take this? This no longer at 360 deals, 62 million a year, it is no longer acceptable to me in my life. It's time to level up and take it to the next level. Got clarity on what I want, and which is now we're growing as fast as we possibly can to get to 4,200 transactions, 4.7 billion in annual volume, and become the largest team that's ever existed on planet Earth. So that's what we're on a mission to do right now, and we're going to freaking knock it out of the park within the next 36 months.
There you go. Boom. Right? So it was essentially, you got mindset, but you also got leverage, right? You got a recruiter in. When did the recruiter join you?
Yeah, so the recruiter's been in the last 45 days. So here's my philosophy, and here's why so many teams stay small. Because you go into this with a realtor mindset, never an entrepreneur mindset, which is a huge mistake. You got to always go into this. I wear 2 hats in the real estate business. I wear my entrepreneur hat, and then I wear my consumer hat. That's it. I never wear the realtor hat. So when I look at an entrepreneur, I'm always thinking about growth and eliminating my capacities. So I start off as an individual agent. My first year in the business at 48 transactions. I'm working for him to midnight. 23-year-old kid. I realized, okay, I can't add anymore to that. I hit this capacity. So then I had to hire an assistant to alleviate 8 hours a day, and so I took it to the next level. The next thing you know, I started adding buyers agents. Then I just started focusing on listings. But that still gave me a capacity, right? Mm-hmm. So then I got to the point where I knew to grow to the next level, I had to fire myself from listing and then just focus on my teammates, and now just hiring agents. Right. One of my mentors at the time kind of slapped me around, like, Josh, dude, you can no longer, if you want to take it to the next level, you can no longer focus any of your time and your attention and energy on anything that doesn't at least result in 50 transactions. So at that time, it was, okay, hedge fund clients, REO clients, big investor clients, and then recruiting agents to the team that were going to result in 50 transactions. Right. So then I can only do so many interviews, so many appointments a day. So then it's, okay, now I need to fire myself and replace. I'm always looking to fire. How can I fire myself, and how can I afford to fire myself so I never have this capacity? So then now I've got to the point where I have a recruiter now that does all the recruiting. So now literally I've got about 5 hours a week where I just do some coaching segments with my people, and that's about my involvement. But pretty soon, in the next 6 months, I'm even going to replace that avenue. So then I'm fully just 100% at the 30,000 foot level. And then again, there's no scalability to it. I mean, there's full scalability to it, no capacity. You know, and then once we're at our we don't know exactly what it's going to take yet right now. I mean, we're estimating about 250 agents out here right now to hit what we want. And then from there, we'll start breaking into Miami, Texas, and taking it from there. And then at that point, we might even consider going into the brokerage model outside of just the team and go out there and try to compete with, the big dogs out there, the KWs and the Remaxes of the world. Who knows?
Hey, why not, right? And the sky's the limit. And you talked a little bit about the 50X principle, something I've talked about for quite some time. And you got this message from Ryan Finch, and he's got a great book coming out down the road that's going to be talking about the 50X principle. And I encourage everybody to check that book out called Explode, Rebooted. And I've been talking about it from the sense of there are people in your life that are 50X people. These are the people that truly can take your production, your referrals to not just 1X, but to 50X. A developer is a great example, right? You build a relationship with a developer. He doesn't just bring, one transaction with him. He brings a ton. We're having a great time on active adult communities or retirement communities, building the relationship with the sales manager there, where these are equity sellers who are looking to sell, and these are referrals, relocation directors, relocation partners. Christine Ritchie out of the Connecticut, New York area, she's got phenomenal relocation relationships, and I encourage, if you're listening to this or watching this, is man, just take 5 minutes to just step back, take a deep breath, and figure out who are the 50X relationships in your city, in your area, that can take you to the next level. And for Josh, Josh is adding an agent. If I can teach an agent to do 50 transactions, that's 50Xing my whole process. And I encourage you to implement the 50X principle out there, wherever you are, whoever you are. And I also will tell you that be ready for that acceleration, because a couple of 50X relationships in your life will take you down a path with a lot of momentum and with a lot of acceleration. So be ready for the ride. It's a great ride. And Joshua Smith, you are a 50X dude, brother. And this has been a phenomenal 50X. Do you see how we did that 50 push-ups in 30 seconds, 50 times? Yeah. So just know how much I appreciate our relationship, and as it develops, I'm looking forward to great partnerships and kicking butt. We have delivered so much pop on energy and mindset and getting stuff done today. Just know how much I appreciate you. Anybody that's got referrals for the Phoenix, Scottsdale area, hook up with Joshua Smith. And then, Joshua, what's the website again that you want to make sure that they get more information about you?
Yeah, so it's www.joshuasmithgsd.com.
And GSD is 1 is for get clarity, S is determine your stoppers in your life, and 3 is do, take action steps and to eliminate your stoppers. GSD, get clear, figure out what the stoppers are. D is do, go, take action. GSD, the 3 steps, and then of course you're going to want to take some evaluation and reflection time. And wow, Matt, what are a couple comments we got? And then let's close the door, baby.
Well, you got a compliment, Michael, earlier when you're doing the
we've got time for that.
You look great. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, really, so, let's give that guy an hour. Whoever that was that said that, So
yeah, thanks, Carlos. That was awesome.
Carlos.
And then just somebody just had a comment that it's the title of the book that you referenced earlier is The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying: A Life Transformed by the Dearly Departing. And I've heard multiple people mention that book. Immediately go out and get that. I've read some excerpts from it. I haven't read the whole book yet, but it is fantastic. It's a great book for everyone to read to get that long-term view, and then back up and figure out today, how do I exercise my hustle muscle to hit those long-term goals. So
I love it. Any other comments?
Nope, that is it for today. It was light on questions. I think you
Well, I
you
mean,
blow
just,
people away.
how are they going to get a word in edgewise? We're just like bang, 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 bang.
I was just sitting back and like taking notes. So
I love it. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. For everybody listening to this, your action item is to go to Joshua Smith GSD. That is G as in go, S as in stuff, G as in done. Get stuff done. Get shit done. And that's the first cuss word you've ever heard me say on the air. But bottom line is get out there, go to joshuasmithgsd.com, and then thanks to Viral Marketing for making this happen. They do a lot behind the scenes to put this together and make sure the Gen Hangout happens. And so thank you to Matt, and thank you to Frank and Scott and the entire crew that are behind the scenes. And lastly, thank you, Google Hangouters, right? You that have hung out with us today, and spread the word. Let people know about GenGenHangout.com. Every single month, every first Friday, we are going to bring it to you with energy, with passion. The hustle muscle for us is the heart, and the bottom line is you're going to be better by the end of this year, just through First Fridays and just through the Generosity Generation. We're here to help. I'm here to help. Joshua, thank you. Matt, thank you. And we are signing off.
Yeah, it's an honor, brother.
thanks, guys.